If you want the relief of some sun protection in your 2020 or newer JT Gladiator whenever you want, this Bestap Mesh Sunscreen for the Sunrider for factory hardtops will be a great mod to check out. Now this will specifically be for the JT owner who has the Sunrider for the factory hardtop and enjoys the freedom that they get from opening it up whenever they want, but also they want a barrier to enjoy those sunny days without some of that harshness. Now this will allow you the choice of opening and closing your mesh top, only opening it up when you want to or using it when you want to, rather than some other fixed solutions, and is painless to operate, as you can see, for the JT owner who's looking for an easy way to invest in some very functional and beneficial mods for their JT. Now this system is just going to be as simple as it sounds and as it looks here, with a skinny canister on the back that's going to allow this screen to roll right into it or retract into it, and it's going to bolt on your Sunrider feature, eliminating any need for modifications with your Wrangler thanks to the pre-installed hardware on the bottom here, as well as the included brackets. Now whenever you feel that the sun is too much, you can easily grab this pull tab at the middle and pull the screen out and hook it to your footment loops at the front of your windshield. Now that's going to make sure that the top is going to stay secure so you can reap the benefits of some shade, taking the edge off of the sun's heat and brightness, and have that UV protection while riding with that Sunrider back. Now just as it came out, as you saw, it's going to roll right into place. You don't have to do anything special like a button or anything crazy. It will just kind of fold into itself and stay secure when it is not tied to those footman loops, and that's going to make it incredibly convenient, even compared to, again, some of those other more permanent solutions where you have to physically take off or put on a bunch of hardware, so where this just hooks in and out. Now this system is going to be made of a couple different materials. So obviously we have the mesh fabric. That's going to be the main portion of this, filtering all of that sunlight, and it's going to be UV treated to withstand the elements over time. Now as you can see on the back at this header here, as well as on the sides, it is going to be sealed, so those edges are going to be durable and resist any fraying or damage to the fabric over time. Now this will also include an aluminum canister for that mesh screen, which is going to be durable, it's going to protect it well as very lightweight. So if you ever want to remove this, you can very easily do so. On top, it'll have a very fine texture black powder coat finish for a premium appearance and corrosion resistance. It's also going to have some plastic end caps for a finished look, and on the bottom, as you saw, it will have that pre-installed hardware with the T-slots that will mount to the steel powder coated brackets. Again, that's going to allow you to install this without requiring any modification. Now on the front, the header as well as the hooks here are going to be made of a tough plastic material that's going to keep the form of the mesh, especially at high speeds, and keep it secure on those footman loops. This will also come with some rubber bumpers on either side of this pull tab to avoid any rattling when it's open, and will come with a rubber pull tab with some grooves, as well as a larger portion on the front to make it very easy to grab and open this sunscreen up. Now this will come in at about $250 and is on the higher side of the price range for a sunscreen or a mesh top, but it's right in line with some other more intricate solutions in the category. Now what makes this very unique is that this is explicitly for the Sunrider feature for the factory hardtop, and it has a unique retractable build to provide you with the option to open it or close it really honestly whenever you want, which is going to bring more to the table than most other stationary choices. It will also be made of long-lasting materials and have a well-built construction, so if you really want to invest in a quality sunscreen that's going to be tailored to your current Bestap, this is going to be for you. Now install is going to be super simple at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and should only take you about 30 minutes to get this installed. Considering that you only need a couple basic hand tools, the hardware is pre-installed and you don't have to do any modification in order to get this on your JT. Now at this point we can head over to our shop, check out a detailed breakdown on how you can get this onto your JT at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a 7mm wrench, and a 4mm Allen saw.
What's up guys? Today we're installing a sunscreen on our Gladiator. Now before we get started, it's important to note that you do need the Bestop Sunrider to complete this install. So once you got that on there, we can get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is lay out our sunscreen on the table. We have our 2 brackets, one for each side. We have flat washer, lock washer, and nut that we're gonna tighten these down with. We're just gonna get those hand tight on there for now until we get it onto our Sunrider, and then we can make any adjustments we need before we fully tighten it down. So now we have our 2 bolts that are pre-installed into our rail. So we'll grab our bracket, flip it over. We have this kind of slotted hole and the regular round hole that we're gonna slide over these 2 studs. And then just get your flat washer and lock washer onto your studs first. And then we can twist our nuts on. You're gonna have to kind of push down onto the stud to compress that lock washer to get these threads started. And now with this on, do the same thing on the other side, and we'll lift this onto the Jeep. So now we can lift our sunscreen up into place. We have these 2 bolt holes on each side that our brackets are gonna line up with. So just get it laid in, and then we'll thread in our 2 bolts from the top. So now we can grab our Allen head bolts and thread them down into those threads. And then once you have them in on both sides, straighten out your bracket and take a 4mm Allen socket to tighten those down. And then do the same thing on the other side. And once you have your brackets tightened down on both sides, you can slide your sunscreen back and forth and get it lined up, these hooks to your latches by your visors. Then once you have it all straightened out, take a 7mm wrench and tighten down those 2 nuts. And do the same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Bestop sunscreen for Sunrider, for factory hardtops, and mesh for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. Thank you for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.